Welcome to Did You Know from English Plus podcast. I'm your host, Danny, and today we're diving into the profound and ever-pervasive themes of love and loss in literature. It's no secret that stories have the power to mirror life, teach us about the world, and most importantly, about ourselves. But have you ever wondered why so many stories, from the ancient to the ultra-modern, obsess over the ideas of love and loss? Well, let's start with love. It's the emotion that's as old as time itself. Literature serves as a window into the soul longing, the heart's desire, and the mind's turmoil when entangled in love. Take, for example, the tragic romance of Romeo and Juliet. Shakespeare wasn't just creating a drama. He was reflecting on the reckless, often tumultuous nature of young love and the societal pressures that can doom it. Or consider Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, where love triumphs over misunderstanding, class prejudice, and personal failings. Austen shows us that love, coupled with growth and understanding, can overcome the biggest of hurdles. And now flip the coin and there's loss. The other side of love's intense joy is the profound sorrow of loss. Literature is littered with tales of loss, not just to make us cry into our pillows, but to show us the resilience of the human spirit. Think of Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms, or the raw grief captured in John Didion's The Year of Magical Thinking. These stories teach us about the process of mourning, healing, and eventually finding a way to live with loss. They echo the sentiment that to love is to risk loss, but to avoid loss, is no way to live at all. Why does this matter in real life though? Because through these literary explorations of love and loss, we learn empathy, we understand the universality of our experiences, and we find solace in knowing we're not alone in our feelings. Literature teaches us that the most personal is the most universal. It gives us language for our emotions and experiences that we might not otherwise have the means to express. But it's not all doom and gloom. Humor often finds its way into these narratives, reminding us of the joy that can be found even in the darkest of times. The wry observations of life and love in books like Bridget Jones' Diary or the dark humor in Kurt Vonnegut's works show us that laughter and tears are two sides of the same coin. Now I challenge you to take action. Pick up a book, maybe one we've mentioned or one that's always caught your eye but you've never gotten around to reading. As you read, think about the themes of love and loss. How do they appear in the story? How do the characters navigate these waters? And most importantly, what can you learn from their journeys that apply to your own life? In the next part of our episode, we'll delve deeper into these themes with commonly asked questions, debunk myths, and explore how understanding love and loss in literature can enrich our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Stay tuned and remember, the stories we love best do live in us forever. So let's find some stories to fall in love with. And don't go anywhere because I'll be right back. Welcome back to Did You Know from English Plus podcast with me, Danny, as we continue our journey through the intertwined themes of love and loss in literature. Let's delve deeper into why these themes not only captivate our imaginations, but also hold profound importance in our lives. Now first, let me reiterate, why should we care? Why should you care? Understanding love and loss through literature isn't just about expanding our literary knowledge. It's about enriching our emotional and empathetic selves. These stories offer us a mirror to our soul and a window into others. They teach us resilience, the value of vulnerability, and the strength it takes to love, knowing well the risk of loss. In a world where empathy and understanding can often be in short supply, literature provides a training ground for these essential human skills. And now let's move on to our frequently asked questions. Now, one question that often surfaces is, can reading about love and loss really change how we experience them in real life? Well, absolutely. Literature gives us a vocabulary for our emotions and experiences that are often felt but not easily expressed. It allows us to see our own lives reflected in the stories of others, providing comfort and sometimes even a guide on how to navigate our own heartaches and joys. Another common query is, how do authors choose to represent love and loss in such diverse ways? Well, the beauty of literature lies in its diversity. Authors draw on their personal experiences, societal norms, and cultural backgrounds to portray love and loss. This variety offers readers a kaleidoscope of perspectives, helping us understand that there are countless ways to experience and express these universal emotions. And now let's move on to our Mythbuster. A prevalent myth is that stories about love and loss are inherently sad or depressing. Now, while it's true that they can stir deep emotions, the reality is that they often carry a message of hope, resilience, and the indomitable strength of the human spirit. They remind us that after loss comes healing, and with love comes growth. Literature teaches us that even in our darkest moments, there is light to be found. And now, my dear listeners, I encourage you to think about and discuss the following questions. I'm not going to answer these questions. These questions are supposed to be part of our discussion that you can share with me in the comment section on our website. My questions for you are: how does your personal experience with love and loss color your interpretation of these themes in literature? Can you think of a literary character whose experience with love and loss resonated with you personally, and why? And finally, how do you think contemporary literature is changing the way we view love and loss? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please share them in the comments section. Your insights not only enrich our discussion, but also help build a community of thoughtful, engaged listeners. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to thank you for spending your time with me. Your curiosity and willingness to explore the depths of literature and life are what makes this podcast possible. If you've enjoyed our journey today, I encourage you to follow and share this podcast. And if you feel inspired to support us further, consider joining our Patreon community. Your support helps us keep bringing content that enriches, educates, and entertains. Remember, the stories we've explored today are more than just narratives. They're reflections of our collective human experience. They remind us that we're not alone in our feelings of love and loss. So let's continue to read, share, and discuss these stories, for in them we find understanding, compassion, and the undeniable resilience of the human spirit. Until next time, keep turning the page and exploring the vast landscapes of literature and life. Thank you, and take care.